What if the Watergate scandal had never happened? Forward timeline. What would impeach the legacy of Richard Milhouse Nixon and the Republican Party? 1976 U.S. election. Gerald Ford versus Jimmy Carter. Ford wins the election in a decent margin with 322 electoral votes. However, Ford would have a terrible term. The economy gets worse than over Ford's presidency. The Iran crisis is terrible. And the Democrats held the House, Internet, giving the Democrats way more power heading into the 1980 U.S. election. 1980 U.S. election, Ted Kennedy versus Gerald Rudolph Ford. Ford is running for re-election. The Democrats finally win the presidency for the first time in 12 years with a landslide with 402 electoral votes and 82% of the popular vote. Ted Kennedy has a good term. He frees the hostages crisis, and the economy is doing so good. In 1984, Republicans nominate Bob Dole, and he campaigns on lowering taxes. Ted Kennedy runs for re-election. He campaigns on continuing his legacy. Who are you voting for? Bob Dole or the Kennedy legacy? Anyway, 1984 U.S. election, Bob Dole vs. Ted Kennedy. Ted Kennedy decisively wins re-election with 339 electoral votes to Dole's 199. Let's talk about it. Ted Kennedy has a meh second term. The economy is good, though the economy sort of struggles during his second term. The economy has sort of rebounded by the 1988 election. 1988 election, John Anderson vs. Gillard. Gillard wins the election with 281 electoral votes to Anderson's 257. Gillard wins Florida. It was looking like that Anderson would have won Florida, but Florida failed a Anderson presidency. Thus, it swung to Gillard. Gillard has a met term, and many people want someone new in 1992. So in 1992, Republicans choose on Ross Perot to go up against incumbent Gillard. 1992 U.S. election, Ross Perot vs. Gillard. Ross Perot wins the election, and for the first time since 1976, Republicans are back in the White House. Ross Perot has an extremely good first term. Not as amazing as John F. Kennedy, but still very good. Ross Perot helped end the Persian Gulf War, and his approval rating soared as high as 72% because of moments like this. The highest of any president up to this point. 1996 election, Ross Perot vs. Bill Clinton. This election is going to be close. Ross Perot barely wins the election with 288 electoral votes to Clinton's 250. Does Ross Perot get impeached in 1999? In our timeline, Bill Clinton gets impeached, but Ross Perot does face impeachment, though in this timeline, Republicans owned the House and Senate, so they couldn't do it. 2000 election, George W. Bush vs. Bernie Sanders. George W. Bush wins the election in a landslide, following off of a good Perot presidency. George W. Bush's first term, everything stays the same, kind of. Though the Iraq War plays out very differently. 2004 election, Bill Clinton vs. George W. Bush. George W. Bush easily easy wins re-election in a landslide with 522 electoral votes. The 2008 recession, what goes differently? The 2008 recession plays out differently. Bush has a very, very, very horrible second term. The Iraq War keeps getting worse, and Republicans are shouldering 100% of the blame for it. 2008 election, Hillary Clinton vs. Mitt Romney. Hillary Clinton wins in a landslide with 359 electoral votes. The withdrawal from Afghanistan and Iraq, what goes differently? The withdrawal from Afghanistan and Iraq goes very well. Clinton has an extremely good term and has an approval rating of 101%. The election of 2012, Hillary Clinton vs. John McCain. Hillary Clinton easily wins the election with 272 electoral votes. 2016 election, Barack Obama versus Donald Trump. Barack Obama wins the election with 279 electoral votes, only 9 votes above the 70 electoral vote threshold. The COVID-19 pandemic, a different response. The COVID-19 pandemic goes very, very, very well. Barack Obama is extremely popular heading into the election. The 2020 election, Jeb Bush vs. Barack Obama. Obama wins in a landslide with 333 electoral votes to Bush's 206. Obama's second term focuses on Obamacare, healthcare, and childcare. Barack Obama has a good second term. 2024 election, Ron DeSantis vs. Kamala Harris. Ron DeSantis wins the election, and for the first time since 2004, Republicans are in the White House. DeSantis wins with 281 electoral votes. That brings us to the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.